Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Lola Mad Hatters Party. We are just so happy that you're here now at this very moment. I'm Kate Thoralba. I'm Lola Mad's little friend, and I am also a woman of many hats. So I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a seamstress, I'm a storyteller, which is why Tita G has always been my life's heroine, and I feel very privileged to be hosting this event for you guys, which has taken months of preparation. And without further ado, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started because this is a very special program of hand-picked, super loved people who are presenting to us their special numbers. So the common denominator of all the guests and performers here is that we're all connected through our common love for Tita Gilda. And of course, she's known as Lola Mad to the Apos and to the family. And we're here today to celebrate everything we remember and love about her. So we've decided to ask everyone to come in their most fabulous costumes and hats. Para we can have something to tip off to Lola Mad, who's now watching from virtual heaven. Virtually watching from heaven. Many of us know Gilda from one or two perspectives only. Gilda, the true nationalist, the activist. Gilda, the spiritual seeker. Gilda, the producer. Gilda, the publisher. Gilda, the writer. Gilda, the dancer. Gilda, the painter. Gilda, the mother, wife, lover of Filipino culture, cooking, art, theater, music, Rudolf Steiner, Ken Wilber. There are just so many Gildas in one lifetime. It's amazing. And so our presence here, from whatever perspective we're coming from, allows us to come together as a community. So let's share the inspiration and the memories, the best ones, through videos, photos, music, poems, and slideshows. Let's start with a presentation by the family of Tita Gilda. This video was posted by the family right after her passing as they tried to encapsulate the complex and interweaving engagements in her life. We will hear Maul, Arcus, Wendy, and other members of Gilda's immediate family take us through this slideshow. We begin with this to get a kind of timeline to her full, vibrant life.
Moon of Alabama, when I must say goodbye.
She is Gilda Cordero Fernando. She responds to GCF, as in GCF Books, to journalists and writer friends. Ka-Universe, to comrades of her left-leaning Promethean cohort. One has to be off-kilter to warrant her attention. But as Danton Remoto writes, then and now, Gilda suffered no fools. To family and the closest of her friends, she is Lola Mad. Sorry to disappoint, but the moniker isn't rooted to the word mad, as in mentally ill or insane, though it seems totally apt. Sometime in the mid-90s, when the grandchildren started coming, growing and interacting with their grandparents, we began calling our dad, GCF's husband, Marcelo Fernando, Fad, short for father or father, turning into Lolo Fad, with Mother, Mad, or Lola Mad naturally evolving from there. So appropriate was the moniker, for these were the years when bauls of old sayas were laid out all over the house to be repurposed into contemporary chic clothing for jamming on an old saya in 1995, later morphing into netherworldish costumes for Luna and a swang romance in 2000. Lola Mad, it's so mama. There is a touch of madness in all great minds, as some Greek polymath would say.
I don't think any one of the things I've been attracted to is my lifetime calling. For instance, I have no ambition to be a book magnate or to fund theater productions for life. Hirap yata noon. I just like to do things that have not yet been done, in the Philippines anyway, to be the first stepping stone.
Normally, at this point, mention would be made of the short stories she wrote in The Butcher, the Baker, and the Candlestick Maker, 1962, an anthology of her early works and much later story collection, 1994. A Wilderness of Sweets, 1973, The Dust Monster, and People of the War most remember as fodder in literature classes. No, we will not go into the short stories here. We also will not mention the break she took from writing serious prose to create books for children such as Horgel and the King's Soup, an English translation of Severino Reyes' Lola Bashang stories. The Best of Lola Bashang, 1997, and her first book illustration, Ning Ning, 1997. No, we won't. We will also fail to mention her publishing career. Her first foray into publishing, Culinary Culture of the Philippines, 1976, and a slew of other titles that have since graduated into the realm of rare books, each now worth a pretty penny. Streets of Manila, 1977, Turn of the Century, 1978, Jeepney, 1979, Philippine Ancestral Houses, 1980, Being Filipino, 1981, Household Antiques and Heirlooms, 1983, The History of the Borghese, 1987, a reprint of which is now available, and The Soul Book, 1991, among others. With these and many other illustrated titles, she revitalized Filipino culture, alienated as it was by decades of colonial education, and single-handedly carved out a new genre called coffee table books. Her works of non-fiction include Ladies' Lunch and Other Ways to Wholeness, 1994, and The Last Full Moon, Lessons on My Life, 2005. But you can look these up elsewhere, so let's set that aside as well. At this point too, one would normally mention the awards and accolades. Her 4 prizes from the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards, 6 National Book Awards from the Manila Critics Circle, and the Cultural Center of the Philippines' highest honors, the Gawad CCP para sa Sining for Literature and Publishing in 1994. She dislikes dwelling on compliments, balk at all these, dismiss them as inconsequential, content at being a passionate explorer and an advocate of contemporary Filipino culture. We shelve that as well.
But many of us will remember the madder things she did. Out of the box, left of center, a sudden right turn and barrel against one-way traffic. She doesn't do too well following rules. The madder things surely we can mention. She was a curious shop proprietress. She put up the folk art section in Tito Frankie Jose's Solidaridad Gallery in Ermita, Manila. One of the more popular items were the anting-anting amulets. Each had an explanation of what they were for and how to use them. She was an antique dealer. Together with her sister Tess, they put up Junk, JUNQUE. This was located in Arquisa Corner, MH Del Pilar, the red light district. She was a martial law rabble-rouser. She organized Los Enemigos group and had the state-of-the-nation fashion show at the Plaza Dining Hall in Makati. She was a fashion designer, as in jamming on an old saya, newspaper columnist, Tempest in a Teapot, Far Out Catalog, Forever 81. She was a food historian, culinary culture of the Philippines, Philippine food and life. She was a theater producer, jamming on an old saya, Luna, an Aswang romance, Bench, Pinoy pop, Horgel and the King's Soup, starring two national artists, Tito Billy Abueva and Rio Almario, and also Emily Abrera, Crep Yuson, and Ampet Ocampo as a tree. She was a painter. Paraisong Gulo-Gulo held in Podium in 2005. Mind you, she was already 75. Claiming a piece of paradise and Facebook and Philippines, Oh My Philippines. That was in Silver Lens. Same difference. Ganun pa din ang diferensya. Also at Silver Lens. Senior Moment, age-defying paintings in 2008 at Le Souffle Restaurant at Rockwell. Between Universes, 2009. She kept on painting deep into the night, sometimes calling on her late friend Onib Olmedo for guidance. And of course, the best for last, bench model and men's underwear endorser. Kawawa naman si Gilda, naghihirap na, nagbebenta na lang ng underwear.
Mariel Francisco, who's my friend, calls me a door opener, also known as trailblazer. I become the one-woman bomb disposal unit so that it's not so difficult to go through the same path again. Most of the things I did were firsts. So maybe that's my calling. Door opener. I like that.
To her artists, writers, and various collaborators in her creative endeavors, thankfully, none of you ever asked, sigurado ka ba dyan sa ginagawa mo, boss? From Babeth Lolarga, for her, there is always more to see and be. And now, it is the other world that has her. And she has most likely arrived there in style. From Pauline Sikam, heaven has just become a bit more interesting. From Bibeth Ortesa, Hilda Cordero Fernando of the Universe, maraming salamat. Daughter Wendy Regalado said as she embraced Mommy, nakita mo kung gaano karami sila? Lahat sila nagmamahal sa'yo. To others who wrote, posted, and sent heartfelt notes, but somehow didn't get mentioned here, don't despair. We plagiarized heavily, so you're likely represented in a quote or thought somewhere. Besides, Hilda will know. From Don't Smile in a Funeral, a piece she wrote on the occasion of our eldest brother Bay's passing. We adapt her closing words for this occasion. And I quote, "The spirit transcends all dimensions, so does love. People go to cemeteries to bring flowers to their dead. But how can we believe she died when we can feel her love enveloping us all the time and know that when she is extending help and advice? She sends us message through psychic friends and through flowers and butterflies. And of course, we can always personally get to her through our dreams and our visions." To Lola Mad's many soulmates, devotees, disciples, colleagues, fans, friends, followers, and groupies, the farewells and loving tributes have not stopped. She has gone home to dance with the stars and party with the angels. We miss her dearly and love her always.
Think about you. Let me know you think about me too. You know I think about you. Let me know you think about me too. Oh, moon of Alabama, when I must say goodbye, we've lost our cut-out mama, and must have dollars, oh, you know why. Oh, moon of Alabama, when I must say goodbye. We've lost our good-old mama and must have dollars. Oh, you know why?
Oh, what a phenomenal life. I mean, wow, look at that. Ah, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for that video. That really was so moving. Thank you so much. And then I move on to the next. Okay. All right. Here I go. Let's listen now to National Artist for Literature, poet Virgilio Almario, or fondly known as Rio Alma, read a poem he composed after hearing of Gilda's passing. This poem takes after Francisco Balagtas' dedicatory poem, Kay Celia from Florante at Laura.
Sinibasib ako ng matinding lungkot nang mabalitaan ang pagkamatay ni Gilda Cordero Fernando noong Agosto 27. At noon ding araw na yon ay inisip kong mag-alay sa kanya ng tula na nais kong basahin sa inyo. Narito ang aking Kay Gilda. Kung pagsaulan kong basahin sa isip ang nakakaraang araw ng ligalig, walang mahagilap na luntiang titik liban na kay Gildang namugad sa dibdib. Yung Gildang laging ginugunam-gunam na bituing marikit at di mapaparam, minsang naging tanglaw, niring kapalaran sa mundong madilim at tigib sa panglaw. Makaligtaan ko kayang dibigkasin ang kaniyang payo at masayang bilin. Huwag ikalungkot ang gabing madilim kung nabubuhay pa at diwa ay gising. Lumipas ang araw naming matatamis, kahit nagdidilim ang buong paligid, ang halakhak niya'y mahimalang tinig, pantaboy sa taksil at itim na bagwis. Ngayong nawala na at nangungulila Ano ang gagawin pag muling nagdusa? Ay, may tatamis pang dapat maalala. Wala nang tatamis. Wala na nga, Gilda.
Our next video was sent by DM Reyes to the organizing committee. Here we will see Tita Gilda with another national artist, Salvador Bernal, as they take witty turns talking about immortality. They're hosting the Ateneo Art Awards.
Magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat. Rizal, outspoken graduate of our school, raised his own brave voice against the Spanish colonial regime. He spoke for all those who no longer wanted to be oppressed simply because the color of their skin was brown. He rallied everyone to live with open eyes, a sharp mind, because only the brave heart could stand up to a world that had turned upside down.
Upside down pa din naman, di ba? Jahe, basic Rizal lang ang alam ko. Yung ultimo adios at mga sinusulat niyan si Ambet. At yung Jose Rizal Facebook.
Yung bang pinost ng mga bata, nakita ko rin. Name, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso. Birthday, June 19, 1861. Happy Independence Day sa lahat.
Hometown, Calamba, Laguna. School, Ateneo Municipal, Intramuros, Manila. Kala ko ba pag mantinik daw sa UP nag-aral?
Sos, ni wala pa yatang UP noon. Friends, Juan Luna, Antonio Luna, Graciano Lopez Haina, Ferdinand Blumentritt, Marcelo H. del Pilar, at iba pa.
Rizal's relationships, complicated. Click, Katipunero meeting canceled. Katipunan discovered.
Sabi ni Rizal, yehey, nanalo ako sa kweteng.
Sabi ni Chidora Alonso, mabuti naman may bibili mo ako ng contact lens.
Rizal, hindi lang contact lens ina, contact lenses.
Click. Melchora Aquino brought the sinigang to the potluck, early victory party.
Click. Sabi ni Tandang Sora, ang bayan na nakikipaglandi sa puti ay tiyak na masisibak ng mahapde.
Sabi ni Mapini, truly Lian mother. Hoy, hindi kami naggawa niya na kayong mga bata. It means huwag magpapatsyog ang ating brown lahi sa mga taga-kanduran dahil painful silang maging papa.
Sabi naman ni Sisa, if I meet that Padre Damaso, ewan ko na I'll feed it to the pigs.
Click. Sabi ni Leonor Rivera, kumikilig. Pumarito ka na, mahal ko.
Ang sabi ng baliw na sisa kay Maria Clara, you're insane, girl.
Click. Jose Rizal. Be, kahit ilan ang sabihan kong I love you, ikaw na ikaw pa rin ang mahal ko.
Maria Clara, di ko yata magets.
Josephine Bracken. Who other hosts say, don't forget your promise to marry me.
Breaking news, breaking news. Senators and congressmen agreed to conduct a joint hearing on Rizal's immortality. Doctors, herbolario, bishops, drug companies will be resource persons.
Rizal rejects 100 million peso offer to endorse Bello Medical Clinic.
Immortal nga siguro si Rizal. Anong masasabi mo, Gilda?
Immortality? Napag-isipan ko na rin yan, Badong. Mula nang bumisita ako kay Narita Gonzalez.
Yung balon ng national artist na si NBM Gonzalez?
Oo, 90 years old na siya. Nalulungkot siya na si NBM hasn't been dead too long and students are already forgetting him. Sabi niya, I get so tired nagging the UP to reprint his books and raising money for the NBM Awards.
Devoted wife talaga.
So I got to thinking, what is NBM known for?
He was one of the first teachers to introduce short story writing to the classroom, di ba? He had, of course, picked it up from abroad.
Teachers who came after him added their own insights and techniques. They polished the short story.
They made it Filipino.
Each school year, the standard got raised, below which no teacher or writer could thenceforward.
So,
Below
whom does one credit that to?
Ewan na nga, there are very few like Rizal, Bonifacio, Ninoy, Cory. Maybe immortality is not so much about a deathless identity. Maybe it's not the number of books or paintings or medals or awards or about being a hero either. It is rather those impulses towards a common good that one leaves behind.
Like a memorable classroom lecture that changes a student's life, an act of bravery, a life of honesty, laws for a more equal society, fighting for the environment, something for others to learn from, to be inspired by.
To pick up and build on, modify, expand, detail, without caring who was the source of the idea, and not even preserved in its original form either, because it is something that morphs with each generation. Maybe the ever-flowing river of influences is the real immortality, and that is anonymous.
Let's next listen to the first of a few individual messages. First off, from one of Tita Hilda's close friends, former editorial consultant of Summit Media, also one of my dearest friends, an editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan, Preview, and Female Network, award-winning writer Mirza Sison.
What I Learned by Hilda Cordero Fernando for Marie Claire Philippines, 2007. Number 1. Love is not romantic at all. It's about giving all and getting more than all of it back. The more you give, the more you get. Number 2. You must overcome your fear of giving. You must have a belief in the limitless abundance of the universe. We shouldn't be attached to scarcity as though we are afraid there won't be enough in the end. Number 3, don't be afraid to love unconditionally. While we try to learn the trick of how to love unconditionally, we must recognize that getting back more than one share of love is good enough. Number 4, avoid obsessing over dogma. More important to avoid than wrinkles is getting into an ironclad box of fixed beliefs. Dogmas cause wars and are not good for the digestion. Number 5, there are no rules. The moment you think something is the rule, it changes. Visionaries work on possibilities and do today what everyone will accept as normal only 10 years later. Number 6, trust in yourself. Verify every given with your own experience. The universe gives us all the answers we need if we learn how to listen. Number 7, there's nothing wrong with keeping separate bedrooms. After 55 years of marriage, I need a rest and so does he. After age 50, separate rooms are ideal but not for all. Some couples are happier being pork and beans. And if you still haven't, get a life. Number 8, heartache is caused by a muscle. If you don't exercise, it gives way. Number 9, motherhood is nice because it leads to mother-in-lawhood. My daughters-in-law and son-in-law and I tried hard to be friends with one another. Now we no longer try. We are. It's important to remember that neither they nor oneself were wrongly brought up, just differently. Number 10, the secret of youth is still elusive. The secret of youth, Ponce de Leon died looking for it. Thank you, Gilda. I love you.
Here next is a song by Banawe Miklat as a family's tribute to Tita Hilda. The song is from a poem written by her late sister Maning Ning, with music composed by Jesse Lucas.
Tita Hilda, dahil magkasama na kayo ni Maningning sa langit, ito ang kanyang tulang tawag na isinamusika ni Jesse Lucas. Sa kirot ng puso't sa damdamin manhid. Wala nang liwanag at wala ring dilim. Kamalayang mulat narinig ang langit. Tila lumilipad sa lawak ng parang paring umiinog ang mundong dinatnan. Nakatagong ngiti, biglang inabutan ang bulong sa isip dapat kalimutan. Nung nakikinig sa mga dahilan, mayroong tumawag ng limot ng ngalan. Maraming salamat po.
Some friends of Tita Gilda sent photos and illustrations too. And one of them is the illustrator, editorial cartoonist Gilbert Daroy, who illustrated Tita Gilda's story, The Magic Circle, published by Anvil in 2012. Also in this illustration is the book's designer, Manny Chavez, who was a dear, dear friend of Tita Gilda. He unfortunately passed away just 2 weeks ago. And I am absolutely loving this because these two I have the fondest memories of. And it would always be Tito Manny who would text me to invite me to meet up with the two of them for dinners and exhibitions and wherever Tita Gilda felt like going. I'm very moved to see this portrait. This is wonderful. Now let's listen to another of Tita Gilda's longtime writer friends, a message coming all the way from New Jersey, activist, feminist, and awarded novelist Ninochka Roska.
Hi, I'm wearing hats for Hilda Cordero Fernando. These were gifts from the drag queen Didi Marie Holiday. It still amazes me that each time I made a voyage to the homeland, I managed to break bread with Hilda. It didn't matter what my mission was, how strange, how heavy, how difficult. At some point, I would end up having a meal with her and talking and laughing. And as always, she taught me the first lesson that she gave me when I was a very young teenager meeting her for the first time. And that was light breathing. That's Hilda Cordero Fernando. Light breathing. Breathing light. Light breathing.
We now get to see Tita Gilda's beloved friends in one group. They call themselves the Lipstick Gang, which includes Carol Theismans, Menchu Sarmiento, Alma Miklat, Julie Luch, Belay Grunberg, Phyllis Zabaliero, and her daughter Wendy.
say na magwala ka. Ang say ko lang ay magpabongga ka. Stop ka na sa pagdusa. Right ka lang sa problema. Di ko trip ang magpasabog. Hate na hate ko ang natulog. Trip ko lang umisena. Hate ko ay sobrang bigya. Wag kasi na lang kumadre. Baw ka lang ng baw. Pasing-sing ka lang. Para ikaw ay sumaya. Di ko say na magwala ka. Ang say ko lang ay magbongga ka. Stop ka na sa pagdusa. Right ka lang sa problema. Panahon na para magsaya. Forget mo na ang problema. Pa-dance-dance para sumigla. Rock and roll hanggang umaga. Wag ko tayo pang magpapay-cry. Time ko ay todo bigay. Kaya join na lang kayo. Let's all have a good time. Kaya join na lang kayo. Let's all have a good time. Kaya join na lang kayo. Let's all have a good time.
Ari munding-munding, halina at magsayaw. Ari munding-munding, at pakunday-kunday sa inindak-indak. At sarap ng pagimbay ay bagayan mo sinta, himig ng tugtugan. Limutin ang iyong kalungkutan sa galak. Ating subaybayan bawat kumpas sa palakpak. At nang lumigaya itong ating pusong wagas, nang malimutang lahat ang tinataglay na hirap. Ika'y paro-paro, bulaklak naman ako, na nasa hardin ng masamyong ganda't bango. Kung sakaling dumating ang ulan at bagyo, sukob na sa pakpak mo, silong pa sa ubod ko. Ika'y paro-paro, bulaklak naman ako, at magkasuyo tayo.
Let us now hear from a young couple, one of Tita Hilda's inaanak sa kasal, writers Chris Lacaba and Kit Kwe, here with their children.
Hi. Si Ninang Hilda, matulungin, mabait, supportive sa mga hangarin naming malikhain. Nakasama namin mula nung pagkabata pa kami hanggat nung nagkapamilya kami at nagtatrabaho na sa mga publishing at reading and writing na mga at mga reading advocacies niya. Mapalad kami na naging bahagi siya ng buhay namin at ng pamilya namin. Malaking pasasalamat namin sa lahat nung saya na binigay niya sa aming lahat.
I think when I think of Tita Hilda, I think she was very humane. Like, napakalawak ng pag-iisip, napakalalim ng pag-iisip niya. And napakamahalaga sa kanya always yung humanidad. And she's very supportive of women writers, women artists. And she was an ally always ng mga those who tried to advance the interests of women. And her style, you know, she was banging. She got mad style, and you know, she brought it everywhere, and very naturally at that. So, Ninang Gilda, thank you so much. We love you. We'll miss you. And maraming salamat sa tiwala, sa pagtitiwala ninyo. And maraming salamat sa iniwan ninyong regalo sa mga manunulat ngayon at mga manunulat sa hinaharap.
Salamat, Ninang Gilda.
Stop.
Church Cafe started as a Bible study group of artists and writers at Leongoran Gallery. Skeptical at first, Gilda joined more often when Norma Leongoran got sick of cancer. Gilda donated big time to its gallery fundraisers for sick artists. Church Cafe loved Tita Gilda, and here they read passages from Tita Gilda's Close Encounters with Bliss from her book, The Spiritual Pillow Book.
There are only two kinds of people, those who know and those who don't know, by Clara Card, The Ageless Wisdom of Life. I envied my friends in Zen who seem to be having all those kenshos, a state of enlightenment when one becomes a part of everything and everything is a part of oneself. A great happiness suffuses the whole being. The ecstasy can last for a few minutes, an hour, a day, even months for the mystique.
There was our friend Nanny, not a Zen, who, in a state of great distress, sat alone in the school chapel, asking the crucified Christ to show her way out of her black hole. As the final bars of the taped national anthem were sounding in the corridors, in Nanny's altered state of supplication, the last note never ended, was prolonged to eternity. The chapel was suffused with light. Everything moved as in a watery haze, and Nanny was filled with ineffable happiness. She had gotten her answer. Yes, her sister was going to live.
And so we ask ourselves, isn't that some kind of pre-Kensho state too? The same moment of eternity, but in another faith nameless. Don't we too, Protestant or Catholic, Muslim or Hindi or nothing, experience our own brief moments of connecting with the divine? It is as if heaven parted, and for a brief moment grace tumbled out, bailing us, so that we are gloriously, drunkenly, unexpectedly happy over nothing and everything. About how the sun splashes on the tiles through colored dresses, how beautifully the betel nut vines loop over a glass window, or how a tenor's voice makes us cry during a performance.
In Hong Kong last week, one son, a daughter-in-law, and I were walking the streets behind the hotel, and it was an early morning. Not a particularly edifying landscape of clothes shops and vendors selling dried shellfish. And I was thinking, what a lovely family I had. I was filled with grand radiance and very quiet happiness. I thought I should walk more slowly, lest some of it spills on the sidewalk. I said only and over, really, God, thanks for the lovely, lovely incarnation. And I wondered if there had been times like this before, and if there would be times like this in future lives.
It also came to me how I could never have experienced these beats of euphoria had I not gone through so much difficulty, resolved a long and painful cycle with my mother, tried to rise above a senseless period in my marriage. Little prizes for the struggle.
And so there was this young quiet Jesuit in Novaliches who one day achieved enlightenment and could not stop shaking his head and giggling and laughing for days on end, as if he had grasped some obvious and very simple truth that had been in front of his nose. He could not get over it. He got on a bike and pedaled up and down the monastery grounds. He couldn't stop biking. He jumped into the swimming pool and couldn't stop swimming. And the old Jesuits, who would never understand Kensho or whatever it was, shook their heads disapprovingly and sent the young priest off to see a shrink.
I guess happy people these days are such rarities that they are considered fragments of the moon.
Another friend sends her message. She is columnist, writer, astrologer, also my karmic consultant, and co-founder of Echo Store, Jeannie Havelosa. She was also part of Michaelix, the small group Tita Hilda met regularly in the early 2000s.
Hello, Mama Hilda, wherever you are. So here I am with my hat, nakalawit, because it's so Pinoy to have everything nakalawit. And let me read something quickly from your book, Ladies Who Lunch. And because I'm full of my plants around, because I've become a plantita over the pandemic season, I'd love to read your last article in this book. Because it requires no care, one of my favorite plants is the betel nut, whose leaves are heart-shaped. It likes to loop itself romantically over our windows. Another is a century plant from whose bosom, once a year, shoots a long, long shaft to heaven with its burst of green flowers. The blooming takes all of the energy of the plant, and mission accomplished, it dies. Less passionate bloomers are the perennials, whom you can rely on to fill all the vases. They are low wattage, non-spectacular plants, but never without bloom. In between staggers all manners of gingers and chilies that one son uses for cooking. Of course, the sacred ritual of gardening is sweeping the yard clean of fallen leaves and burning the pile of them. The smoke rises up to the trees to suffocate the bugs and the caterpillars, and you sit on your haunches in front of this glowing fire, remembering things in your life. Thank you for such beautiful memories through your books. Thank you for this garden article, which is so aligned with me now as being a plantita. And you know what? In your memories, we're always going to be having lunch. Love you.
Another young couple writer, also Tita Hilda's inaanak sa kasal, will now sing Hilda's favorite song, Leonard Cohen's Dance Me to the End of Love. Writer Sarge Lacuesta and poet Muki Katigbak Lacuesta.
Intro. Intro or no intro?
Just kidding. Intro.
Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward dawn. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like we do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the wedding now. Dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly. Dance me very long. Both of us beneath our love. We're both of us above. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love.
That was a nice fist bump. I like that. So cute. Hashtag couple goals. And next. Tita Hilda was also a fighter for freedom, even way back in the 80s. She became a member of Women Against Marcos and for Boycott, or WOMB, which included Mita Pardo de Tavera, Odette Alcantara, Maita Gomez, Nikki Coseteng, Gigi Dueñas, and Judy Tagiwalo.
Makibaka, wag matakot. Makibaka, wag matakot.
It's hard to imagine, but it's true. Middle-class women, like Ka-Universe Hilda Cordero Fernando, marched and chanted that on the streets to help bring down the Marcos dictatorship. Hilda also conceived of creative protests for WOMB, the most memorable of which was the State of the Nation fashion show. Like in present-day Womb's number, Gilda banged the drum for history loudly. As the song aptly puts it, she bangs, she bangs.
The Alun Alun Dance Circle offers this tribute to Tita Gilda, woman, feminist, activist, and artist. Two friends of Tita Gilda, C.B. Garucho and Ramon Magsaysay awardee Ligaya Amil Bangsa, danced the Bula Bula, a variation of the Pangalay, to the song composed by Ramon Aiko, performed by Inang Laya, the iconic folk singers Becky Abraham and the late Karina David, who were both active in the Parliament of the Streets during the Marcos dictatorship. Two of Tita Gilda's most beloved friends, couple Avic Ilagan and Boji Pascua, reminisce about their first encounter with her and how their friendship grew. Right after, we will also hear Boji sing the prayer translated to Filipino.
una kong nakilala, in a way, si Gilda Cordero Fernando. High school pa ako. Kasi nasign ng teacher namin sa literature, napasahin namin ang People in the War. At nabigyan ako ng, without her knowing, nabigyan niya ako ng panibagong pananaw tungkol sa tao, tungkol sa buhay, especially nung panahon ng Hapon, na hindi namin napapag-usapan ng mga magulang ko. At sa tulong ng aking literature teacher, minahal ko si Gilda. Hindi niya alam. Sunod ko na kasalamuha si Gilda, sa panahon na I was in a spiritual search. Nag-attend ako ng yoga and tai chi classes sa Makati. Tapos meron dong isang babae na mukhang suplada, mukhang donya, kasama namin sa exercises, tapos uupo doon pag nag-uusap na. Pero siyempre kinakausap niya yung mga kaibigan niya, pero kami hindi niya kilala. Ni-isnab-isnab niya, taray, donya. Hanggang naging kaibigan niya si Avik, no? Na in a way na nagulat ako na pati ko talaga, she was really making ways or finding ways to how to befriend us. At hindi dahil kasama niya kaming mga artist, kundi dahil kami dahil ako si Boji, siya si Avik, at parang nakahanap siya o nasilip niya yung aming pagkatao at yun yung minahal niya at tinanggap niya. And she was very generous, not materially, but about herself, about sharing herself with us. At yun, naging parang kabarkada na tumalabas kami together, and inanya kaming pumunta sa bahay niya and just enjoying each other's presence moment by moment. Kaya yun ang mamimiss ko kay Gilda, kay Lola, kay Gilda. Ayun.
Ako naman, hindi kami talaga nakapag-work together in any project, no, or in any artistic project. Hindi katulad ng ibang kasama ko sa Black Soup, nakatrabaho niya I think sa jamming, no? Si Neil Dasa at si Robert Cabral. Pero of course, nung nakilala niya ako, hindi niya naman alam yon. Hindi niya nga rin alam yung background ko talaga sa theater at saka sa filmmaking. Pero napadaan lang siya minsan sa Black Soup Cafe, sa Black Soup Art Space sa Cubao X nung nandun pa kami. Tapos nakita niya yung mahilig kasi siya sa ukay-ukay. Nakita niya yung mga felt hat na naka-display doon. Akin yun yung dati kong collection. Binili niya yung lahat. Tapos pagkatapos noon, parang chika-chika, ganyan. Tapos bumalik na naman siya following mga few days after. Tapos basta bumabalik-balik na siya. Pero not to buy anything anymore, but to just hang out and parang make friends and ganun. Tapos yun. Tapos after that, lumipat kami sa Maginhawa, yung Black Soup. Nung lumipat kami sa Maginhawa, nasundan niya kami doon, sinundan niya kami doon. Tapos sa kanya doon nakilala si kapitbahay kasi namin doon sa Maginhawa, sila Van Gogh. So, Robert Alejandro tsaka si Jetro Rafael. Tapos so kaming parang naging kabarkada niya, kaming apat, no. So parang natuwa naman ako kasi parang wow, meron akong kabarkada na kaedad na ng nanay ko, no. Pero kung itrato ako ay hindi parang ka-peer yung ganun. Tapos yun, saya lang kasi hindi naman lagi kami kumakain sa labas, punta ng Laguna, punta ng somewhere, ganyan, tingin-tingin, ganyan. Pero ang maganda doon is yung conversations, yung lagi yung exchange, yung conversations, kasi from mababaw to malalim yung ganun. Pero Hindi parang sometimes wala na yung oras, dire-diretso na from lunch to hanggang dumidilim na, magkakasama pa rin kami. No? So, yun yung mamimiss ko. Kasi parang nakaka-enrich siya ng buhay. No? Pero, yun, mamimiss ka namin, Hilda. Pero,
Miss na miss ka namin,
oo,
Hilda.
pero, we know na you're in a safe space now. So, yun lang. Salamat.
Naway maging gabay saan man magtungo, tuwing nalulumbay, ginhawa ng puso. Itong aming dasal kapag naliligaw, kamiyakain mo sa landas na wasto, kung saan patungo sa aming panalangin. O Diyos, kami dinggin sa bawat sandali. Maging tanglaw namin itong aming dasal kapag naliligaw. Habang nasa mundo kami akayin mo, kung saan patungo sa panalangin namin kami ay pagpalain, na kahit sa dilim naway makita liwanag ng pag-ibig mo, dakila at di na mawalay sa iyong kamay. O Diyos aming hiling, payapang daigdig at buhay na laging puspos ng iyong pag-ibig. Aming panalangin tulad ng isang paslit, kami akayin mo sa landas na wasto, kung saan patungo sa iyo. Kami akayin mo sa landas na wasto, kung saan patungo sa iyo.
That was really beautiful. That's so beautiful. Wow. Parang daming iyakan nito Sandali lang. Tita Hilda the activist is also the spiritual seeker and researcher. And she enjoyed hanging out with this group called Chakra, or Center for Health and Creative Arts. On her 70th birthday, she debuted as a lecturer on the cycles of life in a workshop of her own design she called Goldies, or 65 and up. So cute. In Chakra, Hilda also found dance mates who followed no rules or choreography, but moved only to their own inner music. May we just point out how cute the Lola Mad Hatter's Party poster is? It's designed by Robert Alejandro, my favorite. This is awesome, Robert. I really love this poster. Okay, moving on. Melba Magay, writer, social anthropologist and social activist, wrote a poem for Tita Hilda entitled Hilda.
Hilda. She walked in beauty, culled from her own imaginary of a story erased from memory, from where she mined a hoard of jewels dangling from her ears, laced round her neck, tinkling like bells round arms and wrists. As she danced culture into gold, called out a coven of witches and wizards of craft, smelling smoke from the bottomless pit, holding the abyss at bay by words turned magic spells, blood sucked by vampires into a cauldron of red lipstick. Ah, Hilda, we feel orphaned, devotees of an altar bereft of a priestess, scattering 1,000 points of light. But wait, what are those colors playing games on a now empty canvas? Is it a trick of sight that she paddles on a boat, on a journey through the deep river, etched on a jar, buried in caves of memory? Ah, she lives. So long, Hilda. Bon voyage to the skyward.
The next group was put together by Tita Hilda herself, and for 10 years, they would get together every other month to share what they were writing. An essay in progress, a first draft. Tita Hilda was the zealous mother superior of the group, and it broke her heart that the book they tried to come up with never materialized. But they had lots of fun together and made a lot of good memories together. They call themselves First Draft. Here is their video.
My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh. For you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul.
I spend my days in a hunger and wondering why you're wrong. I tell you, I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul.
I can't believe it. It's hard to conceive it that you turn away romance.
Are you pretending? It looks like the ending unless I could have one more chance to pretend.
My life a wreck you're making.
You know I'm yours for just a taking.
I'd gladly surrender. pretending. It looks like the ending, unless I can have one more chance to prove, dear,
my life a wreck. You're making
you know I'm yours for just the taking. I'd gladly surrender myself to you, body and soul.
How cute are they? They are so cute. Everyone's so cute. And you know what? Tita Hilda had such excellent taste in friends. So anytime she invited me to anything, I would go. I would just go because I was guaranteed a good time with interesting, fascinating, brilliant people. Quality friends, always. That's why we're all here. Anyway, bakit ba ako chumichika ng ganon? Wala lang. Anyways, next is Luna. In 2000, Tita Hilda produced a theater piece and fashion show in one. Titled Luna, Isang Romansang Aswang, she did something that was never really done before. She gathered artists from various theater companies. Repertory Philippines, PETA, Tanghalang Filipino, Dulang UP, and from Filipino films. The amazing costumes were done by fashion designers such as Steve De Leon, Barge Ramos, Rahul Laurel, Ann Visor, etc. The result is a fabulous production that has never been repeated. This video, which contains takes from behind the scenes, was put together by Nonoy Froilan and Edna Vida, who is also cast in the play.
Reset slides fading out. Blackout.
Now let's hear from Tita Hilda's friend and fellow artist, Susana Kalalay, her classmate in non-stop study groups on anthroposophy, led by Nikki Perlas. Anthroposophy, or spiritual science founded by visionary Rudolf Steiner, provided answers to many of Hilda's burning questions.
Hi, Lola Mads. Remember that time when Nikki Perlas cast us as witches in one of the AGP skits? Sabi mo sa akin, sabi ko na nga ba, ikakast tayong mangkukulam dito eh. Well, anyway, he doesn't know even aswangs. So for all the aswangs present, I made a brew. Happy Halloween!
I like that hat. I would wear that hat. A couple sent a photo with their unique hats on. Activist, theater artist Monique Wilson and her activist partner Rosana Abueva, who have been among her dearest of friends and family. Now let's all tip our hats to Tita Hilda. Put it remove my hat. It's pinned. Okay. Another couple sends their love and kisses. They show a better way of saying, "We miss you, Hilda." Artist partners Robert Alejandro and Jethro Raphael danced to Madonna's Material Girl. And they were able to send this to Tita Hilda before she passed, so she actually saw this. Now everyone is welcome to join. Dance with us. Introducing again Robert and Jethro. Oh, I get to see. I was so excited to see this. Robert, I was so excited for this.
Hi, Hilda! We love you! This is for you! Okay, Hilda? We miss you! Love you! I love you! We love you, Hilda! Miss you!
I just walked away. Oh, they're so cute. That was so good. That was so good. I'm so proud of you, Jethro and Robert. That was excellent. I'm a Madonna fan, so ayan, another mad one. Madonna, Lola Mad. Tita Hilda's short story, The Magic Circle, first appeared in the Budhi Journal in 2008. It was published as a book in 2012 by Anvil Publishing. Gilbert Daroy again, I'll go back to that. Gilbert Daroy illustrated it. Manny Chavez designed it. And in the next year, it won the National Book Award for Best Book Design. Brody Vera and Jose Estrella met with Gilda expressing their interest to turn it into a theater production. First produced in 2011 and remounted in late 2012, it featured fantastic costumes by my favorite, Leroy New. The dulang UP stage play was titled Umaaraw, Umuulan, Kinakasal ang Tikbalang. Here is a slideshow of the production. Like what her son Mol announced, there were no funeral rites held for Tita Hilda. That's because she had it 8 years earlier. In 2012, she invited 10 shock-proof friends to a funeral party. She asked them, "Will you perform in my funeral?" The invitation was to think of something to show, perform, or present at Hilda Fernando's funeral wake in 3-minute videos. Here are photos of the wake, which is pretty much similar to what we're doing now. The photos are annotated by daughter Wendy. Okay, I'll just go back to the first sentence. Okay. The photos are annotated by Take 3. The photos are annotated by daughter Wendy Fernando Regalado.
Ako si Wendy, anak ni Hilda at ni Marcelo. My father died May 2011. His wake was in Mount Carmel Church, complete with choir and catering. Lots of people came over to give their condolences. Flower wreaths lined the corridors. My mother said, "I am pretty sure they'd do the same by me if I don't subvert the whole business. It would be a major freak out for my sons if I told them what I really thought was a great wake." Being the control freak she was, she planned a rehearsal for her wake. So, on May 17, 2012, she invited 10 shock-proof friends, mostly creme de la creme of theater and art, to share their talents and join the ritual. We started by making a paper mansion like those found in Chinese wakes. Mariel Francisco starts the wake with the invocation of the vowel sounds A, E, I, O, U, in connection with the creation of the world. Designer Gino Gonzalez brings a skull with lipstick and a wreath of bathroom scrubbers, mga scoba, with a ribbon saying, "Dead na si Lola. Paano na ang mga naulilang bakla?" I brought a basket of animal-shaped bread, crocodiles, turtles, crab, and lechon. Director Nonon Padilla played Cuban music and directed the sequence of the wake procession. Family first, followed by friends, the matrionics, the crying ladies, and then the gays. Artist Bob Fileo explained the urn that Mad commissioned him to do. It had a beautiful bakunawa, a Philippine dragon, on its lid. Then Mariel Francisco danced a mean Sulu Pangalay to the tune of Leonard Cohen's "Dance Me to the End of Love." Then BFF Manny Chavez, sumalangit nawa, played the eerie music of his favorite Icelandic singer Björk all through the Ihaw-Ihaw dinner. Director Jose Estrella played a disc she had a former student make. It was a song and guitar rendition of a lewd, rollicking Pinoy folktale Mad had once recounted to her. It was about a talkative puki and bulbul that was so long, parang Rapunzel. Then, Rodi Vera sang the Tagalog version of Barbara's song from Brecht's Three-Penny Opera to much applause. "Ang ganda pala ng boses ni Rodi," sabi ni Mad. Then came Eric De Gia. He was in his vintage kidlat tahimik, in Bahag, reprising a skit he did in Japan but adapted to the wake. He danced around the room playing his gong, filming with his bamboo camera.
Then came Livia Martinez. She rounded off the evening with 2 Balinese woven palm offerings and a quieting meditation. Each one was guided to light an incense stick and put it onto the centerpiece. It gave the night a spiritual flavor. The closing ritual was the burning of all Chinese favors, good luck cards, and paper money into flower pots in the indoor garden. The end. Amen.
I think I'm gonna take Tita Hilda's cue and have my own wake as well. Because I want to see my friends celebrate my life. Like, I mean, how forward thinking was Tita Hilda to come up with her own wake and to be there and to enjoy it, participate, and just celebrate life the way that she did. Now, saying farewell must not be gloomy. Definitely not in Hilda's goodbye vocabulary. Hilda, to all of us, no matter how we came to know her, will always be the energetic, lively, wacky force of nature. We will remember to infinity her warm hugs. I loved her hugs. They were the best hugs. Her kisses, her laughter, her bukang bibig. Ang cute! Her faith in love, in us, in our arts and culture, and her high hopes for our country will inspire us to move on and forward. A salute to Hilda. We tip our hats once more. To those who want to stay longer, hang out some more, share more Tita Hilda stories, you can stay even if we're not on YouTube Live anymore. Please stick around, hang out, grab a drink if you feel like dancing and doing a little mad, crazy action over here. Guys, have you noticed the wonderful frames as the program has been going along? These are actually based on original artworks by my beloved Robert Alejandro, executed by the very hardworking team at upstreammedia.ph. Thank you so much, guys. You make us look so good today. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being a part of the Mad Hatter's Party. Tita Hilda's partying with us as we speak, and she's loving all of this. She really is. I'm Kate Turalba, and I'm very, very pleased to be your host for the day. And like all of you, I adore Tita Hilda and will forever celebrate her memory and everything that she created.